Yo, that banana and carrot mixture was delicious, bro.
What do you mean?
It's too good. It's
You
too
just ate
good,
one
bro.
after the other?
Yeah, bro. It was so good. It had some walnuts too, man. Oh,
That's so
bro.
strange. You went from carrot, which is so hard, and then you went to something so soft,
In life, it's all about changing things fast, on
to
a
the
whim.
complete opposite. One is like
Always.
bitter and hard, and the other one is sweet and soft.
It's not fun living in the middle. It's always on the extremes.
And then walnuts. Who eats
Walnuts,
walnuts?
bro. I won't lie. The walnuts were kind of disgusting, but
Why?
besides that, it was good. I don't know. It was kind of shady. It tasted like sand.
Were
Not
they
very
left
good.
out for too long?
Yeah, for a few months. I won't lie.
Yeah, you should mix it up into a drink, like a protein drink, even if
Oh
it's
my
just a
god,
little.
don't get me started on protein drinks, bro.
Why?
I had one yesterday, bro. Oof. It's not
What do you
fun
mean?
working out with that, bro. Too much. It's not fun, man.
No, you take it after you work out,
I
not
know, I
before.
know, I know. I had it last night. So I've been taking 2 scoops at night, and I feel like my kidneys are inflamed. Like
Because you're not
I don't know how
drinking
to
enough
explain it.
water.
No, I'm drinking like a gallon a day
No,
minimum.
after you have the protein, not before. Before it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
maybe that's what I'm missing, huh?
Obviously, it's not
Okay, yeah,
necessarily
but
just
no
like
one, no
having
one tells me
water.
this thing.
What?
Yeah, but no one tells me this.
No, think
Like,
about it. If you don't have any, it's not that you just have water in your stomach. I'm sure it does help, but at the same time, you're putting water after you have the protein, so you're able to wash out everything and help yourself. I'm not getting too
well,
scientific on you. I know.
you live and you learn. You live and you learn. So
Yeah,
now-
and before you sleep is difficult too because then
oh man,
you have to
I've
drink.
been waking up. I've been waking up, and I'll be like, yo, why is the left side of my stomach so hard today? I'm like, yo.
That might be for other reasons too, but I'm just saying like you have to drink water, a lot of water. And before bed
Speaking of
is
water,
is
I'll drink
some
some right
people
now.
some people do it before bed, but some people just can't they can't
I don't
handle
know
it.
about drinking water before bed, because then you gotta wake up early, like in the morning, and you gotta go to the
Yeah,
washroom. But
so after like 30 minutes after you work out, you drink the
yeah,
protein and you drink double the amount of liquid that you consumed in the protein.
yeah.
You consume that much water. So if you
Well, I've
drink a
been following a
liter,
program. So
sorry?
like so I do like a 12-minute workout in the morning. It's like a full body thing, and then I do my actual proper workout in the evening. And then at nighttime, before I go to bed, I do abs or something like that, right? So it's
Okay.
like 3 different workouts. So then by the time I'm done everything, I drink a lot of water. I think, but the issue probably is like I'm not drinking enough water after the protein shake, right? But
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like just a daily total that you're supposed to drink. It's also
yeah,
a little bit more complicated than that.
well, you learn.
Yeah.
What can I say? You learn.
Yeah.
What can I say?
So let's just go into the news. Islam Makhachev out of the fight night against Rafael dos Anjos. Dos Anjos still wants to fight, and he went on to call Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler obviously rejects because this guy just came off a weight cut. He just came off a camp, right? It's
Yeah.
against RDA, who's an aging fighter who had his time. I don't know if you remember when Conor was scheduled to before Conor fought Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah,
The
he fought Eddie Alvarez, right?
Yeah, so,
Was it?
so the fight before that, Conor was supposed to fight in the lightweight division. He was supposed to
Hmm.
fight RDA, but RDA fell out. When RDA fell out due to like a foot injury,
Yeah.
Conor fought Nate Diaz, and the rest is history. But then
Yeah.
RDA came back, faced Eddie Alvarez, and then lost his title. So this guy,
Hmm.
and the famous red panty night was directed to RDA. So RDA kind of it's not a sad story, but he lost out on becoming one of the like household names of the UFC, or at least having that big fight with Conor and his big
Yeah.
payday. But he's jumped around from 155 to 170 back and
And when did he
forth.
fight Khabib? Was it before all this Conor stuff, or was it after?
No, way
It was
before, way
after.
before. He was
Way before,
he
right?
was at 155, and
Yeah.
he just wasn't the best at that time. He lost
Hmm.
to Khabib, and then he decided to change his camps, and it went on this like a streak of winning, and then he won the title off of Anthony Pettis, I think it was. But then what happened is then he lost to Eddie Alvarez and whatnot, and then he just kind of went to 170, won some fights, then lost, and then now he went back to 155. So he's a good fighter.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think it's time to call this the new Khabib and Tony, or no, or too early?
Well, what? RDA and Islam?
Islam, yeah.
No.
I mean, so I heard that a fight was gonna happen in the 254 card, right, with Khabib on that card, and then I think who had Corona? It was Islam, or was it Dos Anjos who had Corona?
I think RDA had it.
RDA had it, right, and then he pulled out, and then now they pulled out again.
Yeah.
You know?
No. It's fine because Tony and Khabib don't disrespect that fight like that, because those guys are both at the top of the game. RDA it's just they're trying to make this fight, but it seems like something always comes up. So what news has come out is it's not confirmed, but Islam has some sort of bacterial infection or some sort of illness where he's not able to compete. So it's very interesting because that whole camp out in Dagestan, it seems they're having all these issues. Khabib got mumps. Umair, his cousin, who was set to make his UFC debut, came down with some illness, and now it looks like Islam is the next victim, unfortunately.
I thought Thing fought though. What's his name?
Umair didn't fight.
No. Yeah, he didn't fight.
No. It was another person from their camp, I believe, that fought recently. Maybe on that card, I don't recall, but Islam now has some sort of illness. It hasn't come out yet what it is, but he's not able to fight. This Dos Anjos fight, though.
Umair, So with Umair, he was the guy who was fighting who was the guy who's fighting from Khabib's team in the new fight league in I think Tajikistan, I think, or was it Kazakhstan? I'm not sure where it was.
I don't know. I didn't look at it that deep, but he's making his debut. He's his cousin. He's a smaller weight class. I think it's a 135 maybe that he fights out of. But it looks like Islam is out. The wheels are in motion for Islam to get a big time fight, whether it be Dos Anjos or somebody else around that range. But he'll be back eventually, and maybe at the next Fight Island or whatever the timing works out to be. Hopefully he does fight before Ramadan, because that's in May, June?
I think it's May this year, yeah.
May
this year.
So he could probably squeeze in one fight before then, just to help his momentum and also not create too much ring rust.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, what do you think about Chandler not taking this fight?
Chandler, there's no reason for him to take this fight. Why is he going to go down? And it's basically a tune-up fight. He's really at the time. Right now, he just wants to get the biggest fights possible and make the most money. Dos Anjos
I've never watched Chandler, though. Do you think that he's capable of fighting these top guys or no?
Yeah, he's capable. He's capable to fight the top guys. He's probably
a good striker.
Without him fighting any fights now, he's probably in the top 5 lightweights.
Really?
Yeah, 5'6", I would say. He's up there. So for him to fight Dos Anjos, it's just a waste. And timing, it wouldn't work out. I heard that
he got dropped by a 145er though, in Bellator.
Yeah,
he got dropped.
It's true, but he also beat him too, I think, if I recall. Yeah. Patricio Pitbull, I believe who it was. But Chandler is poised to have. He'll have one of the bigger fights. I think he'll fight one of those top guys. So Gaethje, Ferguson, potentially, you never know, Connor.
How about a Dan Hooker, huh?
Dan Hooker, Poirier. You can be like right now. The whole lightweight division is a mess, right? Nobody knows what's happening. Yeah. Fights are set to be scheduled, and then they fall through. Or
where's Islam ranked right now in the
12
in the rankings? He's 12th, right? Wow, he's still pretty low.
Yeah, but
I mean, to be fair, he hasn't fought anybody. Yeah, but
he hasn't fought anybody yet. That's the biggest thing. Which Dos Anjos would have been a good entry into the top 10, but it didn't work out for now. We'll see what happens in the next couple months.
Yeah.
Cool. Dana White says Glover Teixeira has a right to want to fight against Jan before Izzy. So Dana White, within an interview, was asked to comment about Glover Teixeira's comments about fighting for the title at light heavyweight, and Dana responds with, "Yeah, he's not wrong, or he's right." I forget the exact quote, but unfortunately, I think Glover Teixeira, he's 41 years old. He's won 5 fights in a row against pretty good talent, but he's not going to get a title shot anytime soon. Especially considering Jan and Israel is still being.
I mean, I'm not sure though, because the exact quote that he said after the post fight show, he's like, he's not wrong. It's like, I deserve the shot. He's been here forever. He's on a streak. He looked great tonight.
Yeah, but what do you expect to say? What him to say in response to that, right? Like Dana White's in a position where he's like, yeah, he's not wrong. Like that's literally the one response you can say. Just to be polite, but at the same time, kind of turn it down and not confirm that Glover Teixeira is going to fight for for the title shot. Everything's in motion for.
Where is he ranked right now, though? Where is he ranked?
I don't know. Probably in the top 5, 4.
But then how are you gonna make? But how come you can't give him the fight, but you can give Izzy the fight though? Like, no, I get that, like, it's a money fight, right? But even then,
it's business. You think that,
like, if he's on a win streak. Yeah.
It's business. He's 41 years old. He's a fight win streak, but at the same time, the UFC has an opportunity to take this Izzy situation and make it even bigger than like any other. Make it bigger than any fight that you could do at light heavyweight right now. Because if you go and do Jan versus Glover, and Glover wins, okay, now you have another new champion. So then do you wait until that fight happens and then do Izzy versus Jan or Izzy versus Glover, depending on who wins? That's also potential.
Uncle Dana.
That's also an option. But the situation is that Jan has a child, or is having a child, all things going well, in January. He doesn't want to fight any time during that time frame, and probably needs another month or 2 for training camp. So March is probably the timeline that he could fight Izzy for the title. Now Izzy, he wants to fight ASAP, right? He wants to fight right now. He wants to keep this momentum. He wants to get that fight and potentially go on to face John Jones after the win. So,
well, to be fair though, he wasn't even hit during the fight against Costa, right? So I can see why he wants to fight fast.
Yeah, he's not getting any younger as well, and why not take this momentum and go on? So if you want Izzy to face Jan for the championship, unfortunately you're gonna have to wait until like March. Is Izzy willing to wait that long? Well, he might not have a choice. The other
do you think he could fight Whitaker maybe by the end of the year, or
he fights Whitaker? He has no interest in Whitaker. Whitaker came out as well, and basically confirmed what we talked about last time, where I was in the camp of saying that Whitaker didn't necessarily deny the fight. He was just kind of oversharing his feelings towards Izzy and the tough task that fight imposes on him and whatnot. And then Dana kind of took that and misconstrued it in as like he's turning down the fight. It kind of plays into the same thing that we're talking about now with the Glover, where he's like, yeah, he's not wrong, right? And putting that to the side without actually giving an answer. Actually, those two things are a little bit different, but you get what I mean. I think we will see what Izzy does. I think Izzy, wait until March. Like, who cares, right? It's 4 months from now. You win that fight, and then you can fight another time in 2021, and maybe another time after that. So you could potentially get 3 fights.
He's not vacated the title yet, right?
Is he? No, he hasn't vacated nothing.
No, right?
Yeah, he's never expressed intention to vacate anything. So,
but he would have to, no, if he moves up, because he probably wouldn't fight it.
What do you
Yeah, but then he
mean?
wouldn't
Connor
fight
never
again.
did it. DC never did it. Amanda
He's
Nunes never
cleared that
did
whole
it.
division, right? So I don't know.
Hey, there's always fights at 185 or any division, even after you
Yeah.
clear it out. Just like John Jones, right? Like he
Mhm.
cleared it out twice, 3 times, and then he just keeps fighting new up and comers and whatnot. But this kind of goes into the next topic of John Jones' coach says if Izzy wants to
Yeah.
fight, it has to be at heavyweight. This
Yeah.
is
I'm
very
not sure if he was like
yeah.
if he was trolling maybe, but
Who
I
Mike
think like
Wicklejohn
I think what he's trying to get at is that like
doesn't seem like a troll
Jones
trying to
won't
get
chase
him.
Izzy, you know? Yeah, like he won't chase Izzy, but if you want to fight Jones, you have to chase him, right? Because he's not gonna stay at light heavyweight anymore.
Yeah.
So I think it was more of like a jab at
So
Izzy, but
So John Jones is a big guy, all right?
Yeah.
He's not small. If he's made
6'4"
the
dude.
if he's made the conscious effort to start getting bigger, and which looks like he's getting much bigger,
Yeah,
it might be too hard or too big of a task, especially at his age, to reverse that and expect him to drop down to 205 again. So, I would think that his coach, Mike Winklejohn, knows more information about John Jones and his camp that we just don't know. So I think that plays into it, but as well the whole ego thing. If
would you see
Israel
Izzy going up to heavyweight? Because I don't see that happening. I don't think Izzy
he
is.
goes up to heavyweight, but he's facing a fighter that usually fights at 205, or his whole career has fought at 205. So he's not necessarily facing a heavyweight, right? Like a Stipe or like a Kane or something like that. He's facing a light heavyweight that is transitioning towards a heavyweight. So yeah, I could see him going up to there, but he wouldn't necessarily weigh that much. He'll probably come in at like 215, 220 or something like that.
But then this also kind of confirms that if this fight was to happen, it probably wouldn't be next year, right? It'd probably be sometime 2022. Because I
Why?
don't see Izzy going up to light heavyweight, and then let's say he beats Jan, right? I don't see him going up to heavyweight in the same year.
Why not?
Well, I don't know. I think that like it's too drastic of like a weight gain, you know?
No, but then he's come out like we've talked about before. Was he's not in the camp of saying, hey, if I'm going up in weight, I have to gain more mass and have to get heavier and bigger in order to fight those bigger guys. He's in the camp
Yeah.
of, if I'm going to go up there, I'm not changing anything. I'm just going to cut less weight and maintain what I have in order to fight at those other divisions. So
Yeah.
it's a big chance. There's a big chance that, say this to do this timeline. You go Izzy Jan for in March, and then John Jones in July, right? At heavyweight. It doesn't necessarily have to be for the title. Izzy as well has said he doesn't care about titles. It's all about him winning fights and the people that he's facing. He
Who,
doesn't.
in your opinion, wants to fight more?
What?
I think personally, it's who, in your opinion, wants to fight more? Like, you think
Between
it's
John
Izzy or
Jones and Izzy?
And Izzy, yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say Izzy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Izzy because he wants to like secure his legacy, right? As in like as said by his coach
Okay.
and everything.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't know. I feel like with Jones, he's been kind of avoiding it. Like
Yeah.
he's not really
Okay.
too clear on that fight.
I have an answer. So, Izzy has always talked about John Jones and fighting him.
Yeah.
And I think one of the bigger reasons why fans and him have always wanted that fight to happen is because John Jones is arguably one of the greatest ever to fight.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Izzy hasn't gained that title yet. Who knows if he ever will? There's still a lot of time left in his career,
I mean, he has a resume. What?
he has a resume, but John Jones' resume is twice as big, maybe even bigger. So I think Izzy has more to gain fighting and beating John Jones compared to inversely, John Jones facing Izzy.
Yeah.
If you want to say emotionally who wants him more, I don't know how would how would I measure that, right? How can I tell
Yeah.
who wants him more? But I would say Izzy probably has more to gain and probably wants that fight more for his legacy
Yeah.
than John
Well,
Jones
the
is.
reason, yeah.
John Jones
Well, the
is
reason I
more
was
about
saying that, yeah.
competition and
Uh-huh.
ego and whatnot.
Well, the reason I was saying that Jones was kind of avoiding the fight is because, I mean, to be honest, if he wanted the fight to happen, he wouldn't have vacated. He would have just fought at light heavyweight, right? And then he would have fought Izzy. But I feel like he's made his mind up that, okay, I'm gonna go to heavyweight. I'm gonna fight these guys, and if Izzy wants to come, then he can come, right? But I don't think he's proactively trying to have this fight.
Yeah,
But
I think Mike Wilgood has some insight, and the idea, the concept, or the thinking of saying if he wants to fight Izzy, that is, he has to come and like basically chase it. Then I think that's probably what the mindset is for John Jones right now.
yeah,
Next on, back to Dagestan we go with Javier Mendez saying that Khabib is not done with MMA, especially with younger fighters, including the aforementioned Umer Nurmagomedov.
Nurmagomedov, yeah.
So, as known before, Khabib was talking about going back to the States in San Jose to help out Javier train people. Khabib's already one of the front runners for helping Islam become one of the next up and coming fighters to actually go on to win a title. He's campaigning for Islam to go on and fight for the title and take over where Khabib left off. So that also includes the fact that Islam is also now seen as the AKA's front runner or one of the leaders of that gym. So Khabib has shown that he's not necessarily leaving MMA entirely. He's going on to rather move to more of a coaching and a mentor and helping out people that need his help or could afford his guidance in their careers.
No, well, honestly, I think how he's doing it is that I think for the most part he's gonna stay in Dagestan, right, at the Eagles MMA gym, probably just train his guys there. I think like when guys like who else like Islam have fights, right? I think he'll probably go to San Jose and then go help out over there.
Yeah, there's other
AKA
stuff
gym.
that Khabib is doing, like just opening up gyms around the world and helping people wherever he can.
Yeah.
I think we'll see him in other people's corners at fights from time to time. We'll see him in fight promotion videos. We'll see him in the news. He's not going to go away. Maybe interviews.
If you ask me, I think it's a slow build towards the GSP fight. I was saying a few weeks ago, I'm like, the fight's not gonna happen. But the more I think about it, man, I'm like, this fight just has to happen.
Yeah.
He needs that 30-0. He needs that 30-0. And I think with GSP too, he's one of those guys that yes, like he might be. I think he's in his early 40s now, right?
Yeah, I think he's 39. Yeah.
Or like late 30s. I don't know. Like that range, right? I think he's one of those guys that if he wanted to, he could probably still fight in like a year or two, right? So. Yeah, I can see that fight happening. I changed my mind.
I think you'll be going back and forth for a while, but give. Now that I think about it, I think give Khabib until maybe after Ramadan, so July-ish, to think over, have some rest, go back, do things that he's wanted to do, but just didn't have the time for.
He's been fighting his whole life, since a kid. Sambo.
Everything.
With freestyle wrestling.
Everything. This man has been busy since childhood. So give him some time and he'll come around. There's no rush for Khabib and GSP fight. GSP always stays in shape. I'm sure he's not going to turn down the fight if he was 42 compared to him being, 40 next year. Right? Like, I don't think there's much like, there's not a ticking time bomb. A timeline for GSP to fight Khabib. It could happen in 2 years, 3 years. It's just a matter of like if they want to do it ultimately.